Oh my gosh. So you wanted to build a coin that was actually meaningful and actually could bring value to people's everyday life. And so I think that's why we call it more of like a lifestyle brand. Hey guys, and welcome to the first episode of In the Driver's Seat with Cats and Cars. Today I have the pleasure to interview the CEO and founder of CatsNCars, Eric Santos. Being that he is the founder and CEO of CatsNCars, we only thought it was right that he'd be our first interview ever. Today we are sitting in his Ferrari 430 Scuderia and we're gonna get some inside scoop. I'm super excited about this interview, so let's just get into it. Hi Eric, how are you?
Hey everyone.
I'm so excited to be here today. This is awesome and I'm super excited to have you.
Thanks, I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. So I think we're gonna get on the road first, right?
Sure.
All right, let's get on the road. So are you ready for some questions?
Sure.
So tell me about you. Tell me where you come from.
Born in San Jose, California.
San Jose?
I went to school for engineering at San Diego State University.
Yeah.
My last year of college, I somehow ended up picking up a camera. I was kind of always interested in photography. I just decided to buy a camera randomly and found out I was kind of good at it. Spent the last year of college basically exploring cameras and photography, and also noticed that I could make quite a bit of money by buying and reselling cameras on Craigslist. A lot of times during my midterm, I would literally just like leave my class and go buy a camera to go make a couple $1,000.
Sounds like you.
The main reason I did that was pretty much to try all the cameras and lenses that were out there. I like quality stuff and I like figuring out what makes something better than something else. That's kind of how I spent my college career. Our senior project as an engineer, you're supposed to have like a group of people that you create a engineering company with. And during our project, I decided to do zero engineering. Instead, I created a website, did the photo, the video, and I made our company look professional. Our teacher basically said that was the most professional looking company he's ever seen in all his years of teaching. So I figured out, maybe marketing's more for me than engineering.
You kind of found your passion in marketing and sales. I mean, really, you're an entrepreneur in so many aspects.
Coming out of college, I basically decided to do a make it or break it move and go to either New York or Paris and see if I could succeed as a photographer.
That's right.
And
so you lived in Paris for a while, right?
Yeah, I lived in Paris for 5 years, worked for a bunch of 3-star Michelin restaurants, 5-star hotels. I worked for Chanel, Pierre Cardin, a bunch of big companies.
So tell me a little bit about your childhood. What makes you you today?
My childhood?
Yeah.
My dad grew up loving cars, grew up around cars my whole life. The day I turned 16, I got my license. Ever since then, cars have been one of the biggest expenses of my life, and I don't regret a moment of it. The point of buying a nice car is to drive it and enjoy it. I do this for myself. Bad day, get in your car and hit 8,000 RPM, and everything that's been pissing you off for the day is completely lost.
So you've always kind of had a passion for cars.
Absolutely.
You played sports growing up as well?
Yeah, I played competitive hockey and soccer.
Wow. Did you know I played hockey?
No.
I played hockey as well. I mean, I played field hockey, so it's a little bit different.
A little bit different.
I mean, we're not on
ice.
We're not on ice. We're actually on grass, and like we run around in little skirts. So, wow.
And your sticks look wrong. They look like golf clubs.
Yeah, the sticks are giving more golf club than hockey. So tell me a quote that you live by. Tell me something that like gets you going. You think back to when times are tough.
My most important quote, I don't know if it's exact, but my favorite quote that I live by is from Tokyo Drift when Han says, "Every dollar amount's worth finding out what a man's made of."
Any dollar amount is worth
Yeah, so
finding
basically
out what a
it's
man's
that
made of.
scene right after his car got crashed. Basically the point is it's money, and sometimes you got to spend money to find out who someone is.
Dang.
And in my years, I've lost tons of money on tons of people, but I've also met extremely good people. It's worth losing all the money on the bad people to find the several good people.
I love that. I really do. You're definitely one of a kind spirit and someone that I feel grateful to have met. So we actually met because one of your friends recruited me to help you sell one of your properties. I started giving you some tattoos, and now here we are sitting in your Ferrari.
Yep. Speaking of those tattoos, they're not finished.
We're still working out. You're a busy man. You got shit going on. So
Well, hopefully soon we can get a CNC tattoo on my neck.
we're doing an owl, aren't we?
Yeah.
With the CNC inside? That's crazy. I'm here for it. What made you get this car?
The Ferrari Scuderia has been my dream car since it came out, 2008. I remember I was in college and I remember it just being like the car that I wanted. It was obviously way out of my price range then, and even leading up to finally getting one, you know, it wasn't completely out of my price range, but it was more of the upkeep of having a Ferrari versus a Porsche or all the other cars that are, you know, your standard cars that people still don't consider dailies, but you could still daily drive a GT3 RS and it would still, you know, withstand 60, 70,000 miles without spending tens of thousands of dollars on maintenance.
That's why your Instagram name is @Scud Daily, right?
Yep. But I do drive this every day. Came across this particular one that is the only one in the world in this color, and at the end of the day, I don't care how many miles are on it.
What would you say to someone who has a dream to own a Ferrari someday?
I'd say as soon as you can do it, do it. Obviously, don't put other priorities aside for it, but if driving a car makes you happy and it's something that you've always wanted to do it. You only live once.
Out of the Porsche GT3 RS that you had, when do you like better?
It's not even a comparison.
You like the Ferrari, huh?
Yeah, bye Porsche.
Yeah, bye Porsche. We use this as a marketing vehicle as well. So yeah, let's talk about CNC. Why crypto, and what experiences brought you to CatsNCars?
I've been in crypto since 2014. Was there during the XRP pump, there during multiple Bitcoin rallies and multiple altcoin seasons. Been in so many projects, followed so many devs that either lied, didn't do what they said they were gonna do, or just simply just had a project that meant nothing. So to me, even the top projects out there are just still 100% based on speculation. Like Doge, Shiba, like why would any of these go up? And why would any of them not fall back down to zero and become nothing? They have no reason to be valued as high as they were valued, and they have no reason not to tumble down to zero. So I wanted to create something that had a reason to go up. Did that by gamifying the chart and creating market cap goals. So there's no reason, for example, Shiba to hit the next, 2x. There's no reason for it to, other than the fact that everyone that's in it thinks it's gonna make them money and it's gonna hit 2x. Ours, for example, has a market cap goal. So we have one at 9.91 million. Now we have one at 12 million. There's a reason for it to hit 12 million, and something happens when it hits 12 million. So I thought that was just, something that the rest of crypto's kind of been missing. Like what happens when the project reaches a certain point? Ours has a reason to reach those points, and something actually happens at those points.
So you wanted to build a coin that was actually meaningful and actually could bring value to people's everyday life. And so I think that's why we call it more of like a lifestyle brand. Like you said, you gamified it. You're giving people real world value in exchange for an asset as well. So I think that's awesome. So getting into anything, I know that you're very passionate. Can you tell me what drives your passion? What gives you the motivation to not only build CatsNCars, but what gave you the motivation to want to go into school to be an engineer?
I mean, it comes with my love of cars and watches. The combination of technology, engineering, and art is, to me, what makes cars and watches so beautiful. Watches specifically, they're extremely delicate, extremely small parts, and the fact that someone put that together with their hands is mind-blowing to me. The same with all cars. It has a purpose, but at the same time, they're beautiful. They're pieces of artwork.
You love attention to details. And I've watched you over the last couple of years as well with your photography company and your passion for photography, and that skill is insane. That's kind of what led you into your marketing as well, as like your passion for photography. Can you tell me a little bit about that? What was your first camera? How did that lead you to CatsNCars?
My first camera was a Canon 20D.
A Canon 20D?
Yeah, 20D. I bought it in college, and it was just a camera that I bought off Craigslist. I think I spent like $200 on it. And then I upgraded to a 40D, and then I upgraded to a 50D, and then I upgraded to a 5D. I basically tried out every single Canon camera, every single Nikon camera, Hasselblads, Phase 1s, everything. That's kind of how I spent my college career, just trying out all the new cameras and making sure that every time I bought one, it was a good enough deal to where when I resold it, I made money.
That passion for photography kind of came out of the blue, but it also led you into doing some pretty big work with some pretty big companies. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
That wasn't really until I moved to France after college. It was a lot of work. I worked for a year or two just building my portfolio without making a penny, living off of rice and noodles, and finally caught a couple big breaks with some really, really, really big companies like Chanel.
Wow.
A lot of inspiration in my work comes from Chanel. If you look at the CatsNCars logo, it has some reminiscence of it. At the end of the day, Chanel's an amazing company.
I love that. When you're having a bad day, what quote brings you back to reality?
I don't know if there's a quote that brings me back to reality, but the sound of a Ferrari exhaust brings me back to having a good day.
So this is my first time ever in a Ferrari, and this is awesome. It is loud. My ears keep popping, but this is a beautiful car. It's one of the one, right? Because of the color of it.
It's the only one in Grigio Medio.
It's absolutely insane. So you kind of grew up as a car lover, and then you got your dream car. And that's inspirational in itself.
One of my dream cars.
What's your other dream car?
Ferrari F40 and a Pagani.
Have you ever been in any car accidents?
About 6 years ago, I was in my Aston Martin Vantage at the time, and I was just making a left turn in Pasadena. 2 lanes on each side. The left lane you can turn from, but it's also still the straight lane. So there is no like center lane to make your turns. I was fully stopped with my signal to turn left. A dude in a Ford F-250 hit us at like 45 miles an hour. And my buddy was actually in the car as well, who was a professional soccer player. Needless to say, 45 miles per hour at a standstill being hit by a Ford F-250 really, really hurt.
It's a huge truck.
Yeah, it really hurt.
It's actually insane.
And he actually tried to run away.
No way.
Yeah, he hit us and tried to run away, and my car was still like barely running, kind of followed him, and I called the cop. Literally as I was calling the cops, they're like, what do you want us to do? And I'm like, what do you mean what I want you to do? I want you to get this guy. And I kept following him, and then finally his car stopped running because it was leaking all his radiator fluid, and it just stopped running. Pulled over, and then I told the cops, all right, he's pulling over now. Are you guys going to come? And it took him like 15 minutes to get there. Apparently the guy didn't have a license or registration or insurance.
There's good and bad in the car driving experience.
Yeah, so now I'm always looking in my rearview mirror and being cautious of what's behind me.
Thanks for sharing that. What is the most memorable road trip you've ever taken?
The most memorable road trips are ones that I took when I was with my friends. And it had nothing to do with driving fast cars. It just had to do with being with your friends. It's funny, as you get older, you kind of lose that.
How do you feel about the evolution of electric vehicles in the car industry?
Hard to say because I have an electric vehicle as well. There's negatives to everything. And I don't think anyone should be forced to buy an electric car or forced to not have an electric car.
Right.
I feel like it should be up to the owner.
I'm looking forward to the future of Cats and Cars. You and Travis came up with this, and you have a wife, Melody, and your 2 kids, and everything that you're handling outside of just Cats and Cars and just your professional career and your life. You know, it's really honorable. You definitely deserve to be sitting in your Ferrari.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm super proud of you. Who's your biggest idol in life?
Leonardo da Vinci.
Interesting.
The perfect combination of an engineer and an artist.
I was not anticipating you to say Leonardo da Vinci. I was like,
a lot of people don't say it, which is weird.
That was actually,
considering how much he's achieved.
Right.
It's very odd that almost no one says that. I mean, I don't know that no one says that, but people have asked me that question and I give that answer and they're like, wait, what?
No, it's like it kind of threw me through a loop really quick. I don't know. I did not expect that.
He's 100% the person, if I could go back in time and meet someone, it would be him.
It'd be him to kind of pick his mind a little bit.
100%.
Honestly, I feel that.
He's one of those people that achieved so much more than he was recognized for, too.
Yeah, no, I love that. How did supercars change your life? How did it make your life a little bit better, or what changed in your life?
Everyone always says that cars in general are, a liability and not an asset, and they go down in value, and I completely disagree with this. Not only have I made money on a lot of my cars, but the people I've met along the way means that any dollar I've even lost in gas or in the value of the car itself was paid tenfold. I've met some of the greatest people in the world through cars. Friends, clients, all that.
They're waving to us.
Are they?
Yeah. If you could have a dinner with any 3 people that are alive, who would they be?
Whoa. Melody, Carlisle, Willow.
Your wife and your 2 kids?
Yeah.
That's honorable, and I kind of felt like you were going to pick them. Genuinely beautiful. Your kids are amazing kids. So smart, genuinely. And they're 12 and 8, right?
11 and 8.
11 and 8. Melody, she's awesome. I actually can call her a really close friend of mine. I've got the pleasure of knowing you and Melody and your kids over the last several years, and yeah, you guys are both awesome. So that's a great answer. If you could relive any day of your life, what day would you relive?
I would like to go back and see what meeting Melody the first day was like.
You want to relive meeting your wife for the first time?
Yeah, just because knowing what I know now, I'd just like to see what that was like. But I guess that doesn't really answer your question, since I'd be reliving it as I was in the past.
Yeah. So you want to relive the moment that you and Mel met?
Yeah, that'd be
that's
nice.
Beautiful. No, that's a perfect answer. What's something on your bucket list that you have checked off or haven't checked off that you would like to check off by 40?
Ferrari F40.
Ferrari F40? Would you keep this Scud?
Fuck yeah.
So you'd have an F40 and the 430s Scud.
Yeah.
Wow. But in your personal life, like who's been your biggest inspiration? The first person that you would call, who would that be?
Probably my mom and dad.
I've got to meet both your parents, and they're pretty great people. I'm not gonna lie, and they feed me well. I'm just saying. Woo! Ready? Put some pedal to the metal. Oh my god! The lights! Oh my gosh! Yeah, this is insane.
GT3 RS was faster, but this car is like 10 times more fun. It just has so much soul.
This has been so much fun. Eric, this has been one hell of a ride. And I really appreciate you sitting down today and taking time out of your busy schedule, because you're one of the busiest people that I know, and taking this interview. So I appreciate you, and I've had a lot of fun. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to the future of CNC. Is there anything you want the podcast to know? Is there anything that you want to say?
Get some tokens.
Get some tokens. And we'll see you on the next episode of In the Driver's Seat with CatsNCars.
My car says slow down.
Really?
Literally. It says slow down.
What?
You see it?
Yeah.
It says slow down.
Have you seen that before?
No. Why does my car say slow down?